Welcome into the Cowboys Report live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, where we have the Cowboys Report After Hours going down at the conclusion of today's live show on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll tell you more about that later on. As always, we are going to make sure you guys have a chance to click that noti on whatever platform you are watching, and we'll have you guys answer some comment section to get the chat going. First up, grade the Cowboys offseason so far. A, B, C, D, or F. This is, by the way, the pinned poll right now on the YouTube side. 12% say A, 38% say B, 36% say C, and D or F getting 14% on that side there. Get those votes in A, B, C, D, or F. It was an early lead for B. C caught up, and now B has retaken that lead. So I'm going to give it a C myself. I think we'll do a full video on just like the offseason grades and recap and everything. But I gave the draft a C and free agency a C. So it seemed pretty average to me. You lost some pretty significant players on offense, and hopefully Towers ends up being that guy. But may not be the best there. What's up, Jeremy?
Seems like a normal offseason for the Cowboys.
Hey, you can shut your mouth.
It's
not a normal offseason. I'm going to slap you around and smack those blue light glasses right off your face.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Cowboys are just known for their flashy offseasons the past 5 years.
True, they are. Yeah, normally they do well, though. Yeah, C-, C-, B, B-, A+ from Nobody. It's an A from Madman. B+ from Dusty Rhodes. C- from C.J. DeYoung. Rob says C-. And yes, Brett, boss man Brett, is the community guy today. He's the one commenting from Cowboys Report by Chat Sports. He says to boo Jeremy, and I agree with Brett. F from Joe Linden, D from Vincent, B from Isaiah, C-, B-, B- from Roy Williams. Is that the receiver or that looks like the safety in his profile picture there? C+ from Z21. Yeah, maybe it is. C- from C.J. DeYoung. And that's the one we'll end on there. I want you guys to go Madden style on this next question. Rate the Cowboys roster as we sit right now. Scale it from 1 to 100. 100 being it is perfect, guaranteed Super Bowl. Shouldn't be 100. 1 being this is a USFL level roster. Somewhere in the middle, I think. What's up, Jeremy?
I just have to say I love the comment. Chris Snow, boo Jeremy. Also, it's a C.
Yeah. But we can both boo you and agree with you. That's fine there. Tripping Whatever says 75. Dusty Rhodes says 90. Z Hughes says 75 as well. Gavin says 80. Jay Johnson says 75. Cole 69. Lawrence 69. 75 to 80 from Z Hughes. 80 from Gavin Hall. 65 from Rob. Day TV says 92, 77 from Nick Dodson. Duncan says 72. Nancy Matthews, 80. 69 from Chris Snow. Gavin Hall, 80 from Timothy Mayfield. 65 from Mark. 77 from Tucker. So we're kind of all over the map on that standpoint as it relates. You get an 80, Jeremy? Seems pretty fair there. 90 from John. 70 from King Trill. 82 from Nobody.
I don't think it can be below an 80. Because you have Dak.
I think that's fair.
I mean, if you have a quarterback, that's like half of it, right? So, like,
fair.
If you have a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback, maybe, I don't know, so depending on which year.
Where are the Eagles ranked then?
I mean, the Eagles
75? Good job, good answer. 77, 69, 78, 50, 69. Now we just got 69 comments in there. Part of today's show will be a look at some of the Cowboys' biggest post-draft winners and losers, i.e. not the picks themselves, but who on the roster benefited or did not benefit from what the Cowboys did. Who was the Cowboys' biggest post-draft winner? I think Tyler Biadasz makes a lot of sense, just as an example of that name there. CeeDee Lamb is in there from Doughboy. Zeke also makes sense. Yeah, they didn't add a running back. I got a different running back in mind that we'll get to on that. Jay Stu, he says Zeke in the comments section. Again, Cowboys' biggest post-draft winner player-wise. Sure, Dan Quinn can go coaches. It's fine. That's what Chris Pinata says. Micah Parsons says me. He's the biggest post-draft winner. Malik Davis. Again, I'm not sure who you're referring to there. That's the UDFA pickup, but like that, we're talking about non-draft picks. Non-draft picks. DeMarcus Lawrence getting more DE help, pun intended. D help, I like it. Leighton Vander Esch, Dalton Schultz is in there. Several Zekes from King Drill and Vernonin. Stephen Jones from the Texan third. If you say so. I don't know if I'd ever call Stephen Jones a winner. Defense, Zeke from King Trill. CD, Malik Hooker from Chris Snow. Malik Hooker from Lance Dunbar's burner, also watching today. Yeah, the corners all make sense. Michael Gallup, Biotish, Zeke, Malik Hooker. Dak, offensive line. Trayvon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence in there. Tony Pollard as well. CeeDee Lamb. Keep the winners coming. But now we'll go to the losers side, because in life there are winners and losers, whether certain people want to acknowledge it or not. That's how football works, right? You win or you lose, or you tie and you're a communist. They were losers in the wild card round. That's why we're still mad about it. Who was the Cowboys' biggest post-draft loser? I think a guy like Terrell Basham, Connor McGovern is a good example. You say John Fossil? Bones Fossil?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's actually Bones Fossil.
Yes,
Get it right. Mm-hmm. And you passed up on generational talent Matt Araiza.
Mute your mic. Somehow Ben DiNucci's on both lists. That's funny. Dorrance Armstrong, Connor McGovern, Terrell Basham, LVE, Tristan Hill, Dorrance Armstrong. Lots of Dorrance Armstrongs in there, which I got a different name in mind that some of you have already got there. The kicker, yeah, that's fair. Chris Nagar now has competition. LVE, James Washington, and now people are just typing in their favorite draft bust. So, Cowboys' first-round pick was Tyler Smith, who I expect to start at left guard, hopefully week 1. I think it will be week 1 for the Cowboys there. Say what, Chugs? Yeah, knocked it out of the park. That's what producer Jeremy says. Confidence level in Tyler Smith at left guard. Scale it for me, 1 to 100. 1 being you think this guy is worse than Connor Williams ever was. You might as well put producer Chugs out there at left guard. You played offensive line in high school, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I actually played left guard.
Oh, well, there you go.
Pulling guard right here, you know?
What's your size now? Go ahead and boost it for the program weight, by the way. So add at least 2 inches.
Program weight, let's say 5'11 and a half. Mm-hmm. Round, O-line, I'll bust it up. 260.
260. All right, so you're a fullback. Got it. Confidence level at left guard, 100 being he's going to be the next Larry Allen.
I actually have a question for you, Tom.
Okay, Jeremy, as your votes come in.
If Zion Johnson was still on the board,
I would have been pissed they didn't take Zion Johnson.
Who do you think they would have taken?
Terrified they would have taken Smith because their board allegedly, or their alleged board, had Tyler Smith ahead of Zion Johnson. But I don't think that's what they would have done. I am unconvinced that that's a board they had. I don't know if that's their real board that they had in the end.
They gave Jerry like the fake board. Like
they had a version of the board, or one of the scouts boards.
Like if you bring your kid into the kitchen, you give them like the fake knife.
The fake knife, exactly.
Yeah,
so they can play along. Yeah.
Here, Jerry, you can play draft.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. 69, 75. There's a lot of 69s in there from my guy C.J. DeYoung. 79 from Timothy Mayfield. Let's see, 20 or 30 from Chris Snow. 1. Ooh, wow. Even I'm not at a 1 there. That's kind of crazy from my standpoint. Let's see. I got a mid-80s, 70. I'm scared because of the penalties. Yeah, that's fair. 78, 85, 80, 70, 70, 100. Okay, 80, -1. Interesting. Okay. 95, we are all over the map on the confidence level there in Tyler Smith. I'd say be patient with him. The technique overhaul is going to take some time, so be patient. It's an upside pick in the end. If you haven't already, do me a favor and like the show. We are at 46 likes right now. We got about 200 people watching. That's a pretty disappointing figure. You can calm down there, Jeremy. We'll see what happens on that standpoint. All right. If you haven't already, yeah, you bullied me out of it. You're right. I'm not doing it today. 57 likes. We're at almost 200 people watching live right now. Let's get some more likes flowing in there. That way you tell YouTube, hey, these guys' stuff is awesome. Let's get more of it here on the channel. Yeah, I hear you. We blew past it. Here's what's coming up on the Cowboys Report. The latest news and rumors. There's some roster moves, Jerry Jones' car crash as well, plus some rumors on QBs and Tyler Smith. Mailbags as well. You know the drill by now. 2 ways to get on the show. Either use hashtag Cowboys. You can get your questions in right now. Or you can super chat. And they'll jump to the front of the line, and producer Jeremy is forced to take your question. Even if it's anti-Eagles, he'll be forced to do it. We'll also run through my top winners and losers for the Cowboys after the NFL Draft, and exclusively on Rumble after hours. We're going to go position by position, breaking down the Dallas Cowboys roster and their depth chart. All coming up right now live here on the Cowboys Report. You're watching the Cowboys Report, presented today by Manscaped. They have brought back the Ultra Smooth package. We'll tell you all about what that is later on in today's show. But remember, you can get 20% off and free shipping on all their top-of-the-line men's grooming products at manscaped.com when you use promo code COWBOYS at checkout. The big news of the day for the Cowboys is, it is good news now. I'm going to not bury the lead. Jerry Jones is fine, everyone, but he was involved in what was termed a minor car crash Monday night out on Harry Hines. Jerry was briefly taken to the hospital. I did see a report that Jerry didn't want to go, and Dallas police made him go just to be safe or whatever, and he was quickly released, and then he got back home that night. He's just fine, but there were I saw some of the clickbait out there, which I was a little frustrated by, but Jerry's just fine. Minor car crash. No one knows if he was driving or not, but he's all good. So that is your Jerry Jones car crash update here. Roster move time. Sewo Olonilua has been cut by the Cowboys. We told you guys they had to cut 2 players. Here's one of them, the fullback / running back, who I thought was going to make a roster spot last year. Then he suffers the neck injury in the preseason, or I should say late in the camp preseason timeline there. And he ends up now not making the roster at all. He has been released by the Cowboys. I hope it gets picked up by somebody. That one was a little bit disappointing for Olonilua to get cut. I was not ready for that one. I know that they have Nick Ralston, who they like, and I know that they have Ryan Null, who can play some fullback, running back, H-back, hybrid stuff there. But the release of Olonilua is a clear sign that I think the team likes Nick Ralston even more at that fullback, hybrid tight end role in the event they keep one of them. And I do think John Bones Fossil liked having Ralston in as that fullback situation there. So I want you guys right now to name a player who you want to cut. By my math, there's at least one, if not more, players set to be cut by the Dallas Cowboys. So I want you to sound off for me in the comment section a player you guys want to cut. Let's get to rumors here. Could the Cowboys go sign Nick Foles? I'll give this one 1 star, as I am okay with it. This has been floated out there by Sports Illustrated after Foles was released by the Chicago Bears in the moments, I'll call it, after the NFL Draft. The Cowboys, as a reminder, did once want Nick Foles to be their backup QB back in 2016. Now that, of course, went a very different direction for this organization in the end. Foles has been a tale of 2 quarterbacks. 2 incredible runs, that magical year as the Eagles starter under Chip Kelly, and then again as the Super Bowl winner for the Eagles, not under Chip Kelly. Beyond that, he's been fairly mediocre as a quarterback in the NFL, but you could certainly do a lot worse. So would you sign Nick Foles if you were Jerry Jones and Catboy Stephen Jones? Y for yes or N for no? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section right now. Since 2018, Nick Foles has been a part-time starter, mainly a backup, but he's started over 16 games there. Here's his production in those 19 games. 67.4%, just over 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 INTs. It's not bad, although the yards per attempt is pretty mediocre overall. I can say this, though. I think Nick Foles is better than Will Grier and Ben DiNucci. Do we disagree on that? Like, even I don't love Nick Foles, but I think he's a better QB at worst case as QB3 on this roster. Of course, you benefit with Cooper Rush being a profoundly cheap contract as well. I don't think Foles is that good of a QB. It is why, despite having like a $3 million base salary, nobody wanted to trade for him. The Bears were trying to shop him, and everyone's like, we're fine. But if you can get Nick Foles cheap on a one-year deal, sure. Obviously, Stephen Jones loves those deals, and I'm fine with those too if it's not the only move you guys end up making. But I would have interest in adding Foles on a cheap one-year deal. Little to no guaranteed money. Worst case, I do feel a little bit better about your QB3 if Foles is on your roster. Manscaped listened to us, and they have brought back the Ultra Smooth package. Crop exfoliator, crop gel, and the crop shaver as well. Because, guys, I know that I think I speak for almost everybody out there, at least the majority, when you like it when your girl's smooth. And your girl likes it when you are smooth. So get the Ultra Smooth package today, 20% off and free shipping. The crop exfoliator can help reduce the risk of ingrown hairs. The crop gel allows you to see where you're shaving. It's like a spot treatment because it's got a bunch of essential oils in there. And the crop shaver is designed specifically to shave your groin region. Lubricating strips, a pivoting head for the ultimate groin grooming experience. Say that 5 times fast. 20% off and free shipping on the Ultra Smooth package and everything on the Manscaped site when you go to manscaped.com and use promo code Cowboys. That link will be in the comment section and in the description. Let's go to RG3 now. Could Robert Griffin head to the Cowboys? I'll give it 1 star on this idea, and it comes to us, actually, as weird as this might sound, from Robert Griffin III himself. He says he heard from teams after his 4.48 40-yard dash at a charity event with Rich Eisen. He did not specify which teams called, but he did later express interest in specifically playing for the Cowboys among other teams. Now, RG3 does fit into the former NFL player category in the sense that of course those guys would like to be able to play for an NFL team right now because they're not on an NFL team at this stage. He mentioned 3 in particular, by the way. The Atlanta Falcons, maybe he wants to help mentor Desmond Ridder. The Chicago Bears, potentially help mentor Justin Fields. And also the Dallas Cowboys as well. Of course, remember he did play at Baylor. Here's the problem you run into with RG3. He hasn't been good in forever. 2017, 2020, I merged all those stats into one because he had 1 touchdown and 4 INTs, RG3 did, in that 2017 through 2020 campaign. 2016, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, all of that less than 60% completion rate. More accurate in 2014, he didn't play in 2015 on the field. Also not great. We're going all the way back to 2013, the last time he had more touchdowns and interceptions in admittedly a part-time role. I loved RG3 at Baylor. He was fun at Washington. Let's call him what he was, guys. He was a one-year wonder, and I blame the Shanahans for breaking his legs. Now, of these 2 QBs, who would you rather sign? Type BDN for Nick Foles, the real ones get it, or type in RG3 for Robert Griffin III. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. I myself would rather have Foles than RG3, assuming they're pretty similar contracts, because Foles is better. I think both guys would be a 1-year vet-ish minimum, but as I loved RG3, I think that race has been run. I think his career is pretty much washed up. Athleticism was never the issue. It was being a consistent passer as the years went on, and that did not develop, unfortunately, for RG3. If you want more free Dallas Cowboys videos, you have come to the right spot. We passed the 128,000 subscriber mark. Thank you all so much on that one. If you haven't already joined us, and we know that a lot of you watch the show and still aren't subscribed, which does make me sad, let's get that changed. Subscribe right now for more free Cowboys videos. One last rumor here. Tyler Smith starting at left guard. 4 stars on this one. If he doesn't start at left guard for you, that means something went terribly wrong somewhere on your offensive line with probably one of your T. Smiths, either Tyron or Tyler. But not all big media seems to get this one figured out in terms of like what's the short-term, long-term plan with the pick of Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. The plan is what we've said for a while now, but I want to educate some of the bigger media out there. Left guard, short-term. Long-term, he's your answer at left tackle. That is the hope and the goal for Tyler Smith. And as a power player, hopefully will help you run the football a little better when you need to. This Cowboys team could not run the football last year down the stretch. Teams would say, hey, we got four and that we got light boxes, run the football. And the Cowboys couldn't do it. Hopefully, Smith and growth from guys like Tyler Biadasz will help result in a better ground game moving forward. So what is your confidence level in Tyler Smith at left guard? So we'll spend some more time on this momentarily, but scale it 1 to 100. What is your confidence level in Smith being able to take over and handle that left guard spot in year one, despite admittedly having some technique issues that he does need to work on? Get your comments in for me right now. Smith allowed 2 sacks last year at Tulsa. Not bad, by any stretch of the imagination. It was the penalties. And in theory, and it is a hopeful side of it, moving to left guard versus left tackle will help at least reduce some of those penalties. The technique, the footwork, hand usage were the root cause there. And there are reps of him getting bullied because the technique and footwork were not right. But the plan is Smith on the left side. Handle the left guard spot in year one because they don't trust Connor McGovern over there. My hope, and I think the Cowboys' hope, is that he picks up the position switch pretty quickly. I believe it is easier to go from the left tackle spot to left guard than it is to go from left tackle to right tackle. Your footwork isn't as drastically different. It's like you go from left to right tackle, it's like you're a lefty, now you're a righty. It's a lot different there. A little bit less space, a little bit quicker operating time at left guard, but I hope that position switch goes well for Tyler Smith. Get some shout-outs now on this one. The confidence level in Smith at left guard, a lot of 90s in there. 75, 50 from Cryptic Zach, 75, 90, 56, 90, 58, 80, 90, 10, 50. Woo, we're everywhere on that one. This is a good weigh-in I'm going to do later on the community side. 50, 85, 100. That's drinking the Kool-Aid, my friend Adam. 50, 90, 59, 100. 95 from DeVos. 85 from Melvin Baldwin as well. 70 from Luis Ortiz. 75 from Nick Dodson. And Jay Lou, 70.2. Edwin Cardi says negative 100. So we've got 100 and negative 100. Evens out, I guess, to still be super low. So that's not how math works in the end. Our mailbag is coming up next. There are 2 ways to get on the show. Number 1 is get your questions in right now using hashtag Cowboys. Number 2 is to super chat. And if you jump the line by super chatting, we'll make sure producer Jeremy gets your questions on the show, even if it says, Jeremy sucks, rest of question. He has to put it up there, and I got to read it. That's how it works. I'm being kind of mean to you, Jeremy. I don't know why, so I'm a little bit sorry on that one there. All right. After today's live show wraps up on Facebook and on YouTube, we will be live only on Rumble for Cowboys Report After Hours. Rumble.com/Cowboys TV takes you into the Rumble site for us. The full link to today's show will be in the comment section. It's in the description already as well. So stick around for Rumble only Cowboys Report After Hours after today's live show wraps up on YouTube and on Facebook. That link will be in the comment section and in the description. By the way, again, the 2 ways to get on the show, hashtag Cowboys, or you can super chat to skip the line and get on air. So Brett Alstein, I see your super chat. We appreciate that. We'll make sure we get to that one early on in the show. I see other questions coming in from Roy Williams, JG, I see a couple others in there, too, from Vince, from Forvoken, Ben Loving. So keep your questions coming using hashtag Cowboys or by super chatting if you want to skip the line altogether. Cowboys Report mailbag time here. I am Tom Downey answering all of your questions live on the Cowboys Report if you use hashtag Cowboys or super chatted, and, of course, if you are subscribed. First super chat coming in from Brett Alstein. Am I the only one scared of this next season? Yeah, we have Dak, but he can only do so much. Yeah, I get it. The way the year ended left such a sour taste in so many people's mouths where they came out a little flat against the Niners. They tried to rally. The offense couldn't run the football. It did not end very well. This is a pivotal season for the Cowboys, especially head coach Mike McCarthy. And if we're being honest here, do we think the Cowboys roster on paper is better than what it was last year? I kind of don't think that it is, to be honest. From Roy Williams, do you believe Joe Philbin is the right guy who can fix Tyler Smith's technique? You might have seen the video of Philbin talking about how he doesn't like to coach hand usage in season. It's not great. I have concerns about Joe Philbin. He had earned my respect with the glow up from Terrence Steele and had lost it by the end of the year because you're rotating linemen mid-game, which I think is stupid and never should do it in the NFL. You are swapping out your left guard constantly. You injected this level of uncertainty and chaos on your offensive line, a group that needs continuity year over year to do better, or even season to season, game to game, and that was not there. So Smith's got immense upside. I am worried about Philbin being the right guy to fix that, to be honest. From Vince, I think the Cowboys will replace Zeke and Pollard in next year's draft. I mean, I bet they replace one of them in the draft. I think there is a non-zero chance that one or both of Tony Pollard are having their final years as members of the Cowboys. Zeke's contract is a lot easier to get out of next year, and Pollard will be a free agent, of course. From David Johnson, would you trade Tyron Smith now after drafting Tyler Smith? No, I would not. And a couple big reasons why. Number one is I need my offensive line to still be good. If I trade Tyron Smith, who's my left tackle? Who's my left guard? I genuinely don't know if Tyler Smith can hold up day one or even day 365 at left tackle. He needs a lot of technique work there. So am I playing Josh Ball? He didn't play at all last year. Am I signing a new player? Why am I opening up a hole on my offensive line and getting rid of an admittedly injury-prone player, but when healthy is still a really good football guy? So, no. Tyler Smith, in the ideal world, is your long-term replacement for Tyron Smith, but that should not be the case outside of injury in year one. When it comes to trading players away, who do you want it to be? Who are you like, I'm done, I don't want this guy anymore? I'd say keep it somewhat realistic if possible, but I know how the comment section gets. So have some fun down there at the pinned comments of today's video. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. While the ad plays, let me know a player you want to trade away. Magic Lopez, will the Cowboys repeat as division champs? There is the NFC East curse, where it is almost impossible for you to repeat as division winners. It's the Cowboys, then the Eagles, then the Cowboys, then the Giants, Eagles, and every now and then the Commanders win an NFC East title. So they are the betting favorites. They should repeat, but you're going to have a lot of your head coach, and Mike McCarthy, is going to have to keep your team locked in because there's going to be a lot of outside noise after every single loss about, Sean Payton. That's going to be a distraction for this team. From Micah Parsons, how good am I? Really friggin'? And that's an understatement. Parsons' rookie year blew, I think, everybody out of the water. Of course, this is probably not the real Micah Parsons. If it is, cool, happy to have you here, Micah. Parsons, if you're like building on like a rookie contract defensive player, probably at minimum in your top five who you take, i.e. not Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, etc. From Big Phil, next year's draft, what position do we target round one again? O-line, possibly edge. I never rule out edge because Jerry Jones loves his war daddies. You should be fine at receiver in terms of the round one pick unless Gallup does not come back healthy. You could revisit center, one of your tackle spots, or guard, depending on how Steele and the Smiths all play together. Tight end absolutely is one with Dalton Schultz set to be a free agent. Defensive tackle, depending on how guys like Osa and Gallimore break out. Can't rule out linebacker if Jabril Cox does not impress. You see how the corners fare. You could always consider that. Your safeties are under contract, so you're probably fine there. And don't rule out running back because there are some good ones, I think, next year, and your top two guys are going to be free agents. Are you a member of the Noti Gang here at Chat Sports? What that is, it means your notifications are set to all. Only about 20% of you actually are. It's a very small number. You might think you're a part of the Noti Gang, but you're not actually. You should get a push sent to your phone, a push notification, every time a video pops out. So go check. Hit the button, the bell button where you subscribed the first time, and make sure it's set to all instead of personalized. And if you are part of the Noti Gang, then type in me in the comment section right now. From JG, sleeper on defense for 2022. Okay. Does Donovan Wilson count as a sleeper? Like, we were all hyped about him entering last year, and then he ended up being safety 4 for the organization. So I'll mention Donovan Wilson, and maybe you get a nice little breakout year 2 from Chauncey Golston, kind of an overlooked man on that defensive line edge rushing rotation unit. For Voken, which rookie do you think will help us out the most, and which rookies do you think will be busts? If you mean like year 1, I don't think long-term I like Damone Clark. I know Stephen Jones says he thinks he'll play in the first season. I'm not so sure. I'm not banking on a year 1 impact from Damone Clark. Beyond that, I think your top 3 picks, in no particular order, D. Williams, my bad. D. Williams, Jalen Tolbert, and Tyler Smith. You need those guys, if not to start, to play heavy rotation roles in certain packages. From Joe Bentley, are you satisfied with our wide receiver core? If not, what do we do? I will feel a lot better about the receiving core by the time we get to like week 7 or so, as Jalen Tolbert gets more up to speed in life. Remember, I think there's some similarities between Tolbert and Gallup, and it took Gallup about half a year to get adjust life in the NFL. Could be something similar for Tolbert. Gallup might not be ready week 1. I am a little bit worried about a potential week 1 unit of CeeDee Lamb, rookie Jalen Tolbert, and James Washington. So I wouldn't mind another veteran addition, but you've got a lot of guys on your roster in Simi Fehoko, Noah Brown, TJ Vasher, other recent and this year UDFAs. So I wouldn't hate a veteran, but the veteran's also going to go, okay, so I'm here for 6 weeks, then I get benched. So it's a tricky balancing act there because we don't think Gallup's going to be ready for week 1. If you want to be on future Dallas Cowboys mailbags, then subscribe. We do these mailbags live here on the Cowboys Report, so you should be subscribed. That way you can tune in on Thursdays for our live shows. From Vince, is there a player in this year's class, in this year's Cowboys draft that comes close to Micah's ceiling? Look, Micah's ceiling is one of, if not the best defensive player in the NFL. So I don't think we should ever expect that level of player, to be honest. Like, Tyler Smith has got great upside as to being a long-term starter on the offensive line. I also wouldn't expect him to be a future Hall of Famer like Tyron Smith or Zach Martin. If I could get, like, consistent out there Lyle Collins, I'd be really happy. I think if you're looking for a Micah each and every single year, you're going to be disappointed even if you get, say, a CeeDee Lamb level of play out of your round 1 pick. That's been a good pick for the Cowboys. Just hasn't been the greatest pick in franchise history yet. From Sammy Slaps, is this Zeke's last year, or could he be a post-6-1 cut? Again, that's no. Or trade either, because I know that's what people always ask about there. Zeke's, I think, is on this roster. And the Cowboys have not restructured his contract yet. If we get to week 1 and the Cowboys don't adjust his deal, tell you what, folks, that means this might be Zeke's last year. Now, his contract, who wants this in a trade? Nobody. I would be shocked if you even found a team interested in Zeke, even if he were free at that contract. Because Zeke, the past couple years, has not been the same guy. 2018, he averages 4.7 yards per carry, then 4.5, then 4.0, then 4.2. And yes, the offensive line gets at least a decent amount of the blame for that. You're also paying Zeke a lot of money. So this is, I'm going to group Ezekiel Elliott into what I call the future problem group we had for guys like Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence last year. This is a future problem. He's on your team this year. Next year, it's a different conversation. Now, what would you do with Zeke after the 2022 campaign? Type K for keep no matter what, type D for dump, or if you want to take the wait-and-see approach like I'm more interested in, type W for wait. From Dusty Rhodes, who will have a better season, Osa or Neville Gallimore? Really hope they break out next year. Yeah, I need one of those guys to break out in year 2 or 3. For 2 for Osa, 3 for Gallimore. I want and need a disruptive 3 technique. Both guys have shown flashes at various points. Gallimore when healthy, Osa early on there, then kind of cooled off. I need someone to step up and be your consistent stud on the interior of that defense line. That's the one big thing this defense is missing. From Lance Dunbar's burner, who's our dark horse draft hero in year 1? Honestly, it's that UDFA kicker, isn't it? It's Jonathan Garibay. That's who I think it is. He wins you a couple games, doesn't suck like Zerline did too often. I think that's your dark horse hero. He's a UDFA. If you want a draft pick, give me John Ridgeway, the Arkansas defense lineman, because fatties only will never die. From Vamsi Krishna, what is Tyler Smith's player comp ceiling and floor technique-wise? Ooh, okay. Does he have higher potential than the top 2 tackles this year to be the best tackle in the league? I think it's still pretty clearly Evan Neal and Ika Mikwanu over Tyler Smith from an upside perspective, but Smith could be in that conversation with the immense traits that he has. The floor for me, in terms of like what he could end up being, is Greg Robinson, who was an early round pick by the Browns, never quite got things figured out. That was a bit of a problem for him, and he ended up being a pretty big draft bust. If he does get it figured out, how about someone who's played guard and tackle in the NFL? How about Elton Jenkins out of Mississippi State, who's been a guard, can play tackle for you? Beyond that, someone like a Jason Peters, who has mostly been a tackle, but that's like the ceiling we're talking about, like in a very elite left tackle. But the floor is very low because the technique needs a lot of work at this point. I want you guys to get in the comments section and grade the Cowboys offseason so far. I want you to be honest with me in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. Giuseppe Crocker, great name, my friend. Do you think they will run 3 receivers or 2 tight ends more? I would say 3 receivers, but with Smith at left guard, maybe they will run more. Your thoughts? I mean, the point of adding Smith at left guard is so that you can run the ball when you need to. Frankly, I believe that spreading out the offense and going 3 wide makes it easier to run the football because instead of having that extra safety linebacker in the box, now it's a nickel corner outside. I want to spread the defense up and open and then run the football up the middle when they dare you to. They dared you to last year, and your offensive line couldn't do it. So I still think this team at its core is going to be an 11 personnel. That's 3 receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end base look. Nate Lopez, how confident are you on Matt Waletzko, the 5th round pick? There's a lot of upside there with Waletzko as a potential right tackle for you. I think that is the likely outcome for the hitting is he can be a starter for you. There's a lot of athletic traits there. Big time adjustment coming, but you got to be patient with it on that standpoint there for Matt Waletzko. Do not expect instantaneous things coming from North Dakota. The traits, super appealing. If we did not get to your question, you can blame producer Jeremy, but my DMs are open at What Going Downey, so hit me up there with any and all Cowboys questions that you have. Prediction time. What will be the Cowboys record in the 2022 season? Remember, 17 games, so make sure you get the right numbers in there. Jeremy, wow, 17-0? Wow, okay, Jeremy, very, very nice of you. You're feeling confident. Good job, Jeremy.
Dude, yeah.
Eagles fans saying
exactly 17-0 and then a loss in the divisional round. Normal.
You know what? I set myself up for that one. I got no one to blame but myself there. 10-7 from Micah Parsons, 11-6 from Tyler Parrott, 13-4, 11-6, 13-4, 9-8. 11-6, 10-7, 11-6, 13-4, 10-7, 11-6, 12 plus wins. 12-5, 10-7, 11-6, 10-7, 12-5, 13-4, 10-7, 11-6, 12-5, 6-11. That's McCarthy's gone. New head coach in place, baby. And/or your quarterback got hurt again. Fun fact, when the quarterback's been healthy, whether it's been Romo or Dak, they've always been at least 500. Always at least. Now, when the quarterback gets hurt, they are cheeks.
When's the last time the Cowboys had a tie?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, ties are un-American, and America's team doesn't believe in ties.
I feel like whenever I was growing up in like middle school, high school, watching the NFL, there were 0 ties. Like, I remember that one time Donovan McNabb didn't even know ties existed in the NFL.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Now, the past like 4 years, there's like 2 ties each year.
The last time the Cowboys tied a game was 1969.
He did it again!
I didn't do it again.
He did it again! 69!
That's actually 969. They went 11-2 that year. 11-2-1 that year. All the way back in. That's back when Tom Landry was still like in the middle of his coaching career for the Cowboys. That's why they're America's team, because they don't believe in ties. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no 3-point shot. If you saw that, that's clown. 11-6, 6-11, 11-6, mostly 10 wins and 11 wins. Keep your votes coming. As a reminder, folks, we've got our draft winners and losers, then a mailbag. Then we will be live only on Rumble for Cowboys Report After Hours. The link is below, rumble.com/Cowboys TV. It'll also be in the comment section. The link to that stream is in the comment section as well. So Rex1417, I see you in there. He's having some fun at your expense, by the way.
Guys, you don't want to miss it. After hours gets real hot and heavy.
You had to turn the fan on already, Chubbs.
I know.
You were getting a little
bit
hot
crazy
and bothered.
during this, you should see us after hours.
A bit hot and bothered about the Cowboys there. So make sure you head over there after today's show wraps up, rumble.com/Cowboys TV. Tom Downey here for the Cowboys Report by Chat Sports, and we're taking a look at the post-draft winners and losers, my 10 biggest on each side of things here following the Cowboys draft picks. Now, very important, I'm not talking specifically about the draft picks. We'll go through them again one time here, but that was more of our draft grades. Instead, it's focused on what the impact was of taking guys like Tyler Smith in the first round, D. Williams, who he wants to go by now out of Ole Miss, the edge rusher, Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama, Jake Ferguson, Matt Waletzko, Deron Bland, Damone Clark, John Ridgeway, and, of course, also Devin Harper in the 6th round. We're not focused in on these picks. Rather, we're focused instead on who the already on the roster winners and losers were from that standpoint. So we'll do 5 winners and 5 losers. Even democracy 50-50 split style here. Beginning with, I think, one of the bigger winners, Tyler Biadasz, the center. The Cowboys, if we're being honest about the level of investment made, didn't really bring in competition. I know some of you like Alec Lindstrom, some like Matt Farniok, but the Cowboys did not add any big-name centers. They appear to be ready to roll with Tyler Biadasz and potentially allow guys like Matt Farniok, James Empey, the BYU UDFA pickup, and Alec Lindstrom to fight and compete with Biadasz. Could one of those guys shock and win the job? Sure, but they're all behind Biadasz. He should be viewed as your heavy favorite to win that starting center job. No major competition, but more than last year, I guess, brought in for Biadasz. So I think the answer here is yes. I believe come week 1, barring injury, Tyler Biadasz will be starting at center, hopefully earning the Tyler Badass nickname. But what do you think? Y for yes or N for no? Specifically for the draft, Kelvin Joseph is a post-draft winner. Despite all of the off-the-field stuff that we've discussed many a time here on the Cowboys Report that Joseph is facing, the Cowboys did not add a corner until the 5th round, despite the legal issues that Joseph is currently facing at this point. Now, that was Deron Bland. That was the pickup the Cowboys added, which means Joseph is still your number 4 guy with a chance if he can keep his head on straight, not find himself in any more major legal problems, to take over as CB2 or CB3 depending on how you rotate your guys out there. So Joseph is still, it would appear to me, based on the Cowboys' actions, a key piece of this team moving forward. Now, who was the Cowboys' biggest post-draft winner? We'll start positive for the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here, take advantage of it. Who was the Cowboys' biggest post-draft winner? Donovan Wilson next up here as we look at some of the other winners at the defensive back position. The Cowboys did not, despite allegedly having Lewis Seen as their highest graded player on their big board, allegedly. Now, Wilson is still your number 3 safety for a team that is going to rotate safeties. Jaron Kearse will still be involved as almost a hybrid safety linebacker. Dallas will utilize big safety packages. Is Israel Mukuamu ready to start at safety, play a big role? I don't think so. I think you keep him on the roster there. But I think Wilson is still in a good spot to make an impact this year. I also feel the exact same way about Jabril Cox. As I've said before, I love Cox. I think he's a very high upside player for this Cowboys organization. He is in position to play a borderline starting role at linebacker. The Cowboys did draft 2 of them. So they're going, wait, what, Tom? Seriously? Yes, they did. But remember, Devin Harper was a 6th-round pick. That is a backup special teams type of draft pick investment. Damone Clark, I don't know if he's going to play at all this year, and I think will hopefully make a bigger impact in 2023, allowing Jabril Cox to potentially push Leighton Vander Esch aside when the Cowboys only go with 2 linebackers if we are including Micah Parsons / Jaron Kearse at one of those 2 spots there. The other guys, Aaron Hansford, Story Jackson, those are guys fighting for special teams role. Jabril Cox is primed to, at minimum, be linebacker 3 on this roster. We're also on Rumble, and we had a bet, me and Marshall Green, who would have more followers at the end of the draft. And he ended up beating us up pretty bad. We now trail by 300. But I was able to double down. So help me not lose any more money. Go support us on Rumble. It's free, rumble.com/CowboysTV. And you get more free and uncensored videos. So go follow us right now at rumble.com/CowboysTV. One more winner, Rico Dowdle. The Cowboys added 1 UDFA running back and then cut another guy who could make your roster in Sewo Olonilua. Dowdle flashed last year before his preseason hip injury. And although I'm sure there are those who like Ryan Nall and like Jaquan Hardy and like Nick Ralston and like Malik Davis and Aaron Shampklin, Rico Dowdle pretty clearly, I think, is your favorite to be the running back 3 on this roster because I think the Cowboys will carry one. He could make a big impact on special teams. So the 5 winners here, Tyler Biadasz, Kelvin Joseph, Donovan Wilson, Jabril Cox, and Rico Dowdle. Several others you could have gone in there with the winner's side, but I wanted to focus in on just my top 5. Before we get to the losers, grade the Cowboys offseason so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Do you like or do you hate what the Cowboys have done at this point? Sound off in the comments section. First loser, Terrell Basham, or as producer Jeremy just said in my ear, loser. Unfortunately for Basham, I feel like a dick for doing that. Basham is going to fight for a roster spot. If you're watching, I'm sorry on that one, Terrell. There is cap savings, which we know Stephen Jones loves, if he is cut or traded. The drafting of D. Williams in particular, and with a premium round pick to go along with investment contract-wise in Tank Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, and draft pick investment in Chauncey Golston, those 4 are going to make your roster. Are the Cowboys going to carry 6 edges in Dante Fowler and Terrell Basham? I'm not so sure. Now, Fowler's contract is movable as well, but they'd save just as much or so by cutting Basham. So I would not rule out Basham being one and done in Dallas. That premium edge rusher investment, it's not ideal for Basham. When the Cowboys start to make cuts, we'll keep you guys in the loop. We will have videos every single day, even when other content creators might get to April or into June and July and go, I'm not going to do it. No. Daily videos here on the Cowboys Report. So subscribe right now. I think the biggest loser here is Connor McGovern, unfortunately. He is stuck as a backup. This team, for whatever reason, does not think he can play center. For the record, I would like to see that changed, but we've said that for 2 years now, so at a certain point, I have to see it before I assume it'll actually happen at long last. He's not going to play over Tyler Smith, I wouldn't expect. That'd be a bad outcome there for Tyler Smith. He's not going to play over Zach Martin, barring injury. So could he be your backup swing guard? Sure, I'm fine with that. But being a starter? That doesn't seem to be a case at all for McGovern right now. Let's go to tight end. Sean McEwen, the former UDFA out of Michigan. And you can throw in Jeremy Sprinkle as well, maybe even Dalton Schultz as a tight end loser here. McEwen, I was not impressed by last year. He made the roster as a UDFA, but Jake Ferguson should pass him fairly quickly. And there's a lot of competition for tight end 3/4, especially if we include guys like Nick Ralston there, with Jeremy Sprinkle, Ian Bunting, Peyton Hendershot. Is it a big list of names? No, but the Cowboys have invested a hell of a lot more in Ferguson than they did in Sean McEwen, which makes me think McEwen is maybe tight end 3 at best, unless your rookies don't impress very well. Who was the Cowboys' biggest post-draft loser? Was it McGovern, Basham, or somebody else altogether? I want you guys to sound off for me in the comments section. Biggest loser for the Cowboys roster, or you can go coaching or ownership, whatever, after the draft. From Luke Gifford, now next up here at linebacker, we mentioned Jabril Cox being a winner. Not so fast, though, on Gifford. I see 3 roster locks at the linebacker spot if we include Micah Parsons there as his edge hybrid linebacker guy. Gifford's not one of those. It's LVE, Jabril Cox, and Parsons. Gifford will fight for a roster spot with Damone Clark, who might be a PUP list guy or an NFI list early on, I should say. Harper, the 6th-round pick from Oklahoma State, he's a factor there. Aaron Hansford, I liked him more than Luke Gifford coming out. There's some traits there. Same with Harper. Story Jackson. So Gifford is not a roster lock this year for the Cowboys. Finally, Simi Fehoko, the 5th-round pick who didn't really play at all last year for the Cowboys. He was basically a roster stash for Dallas. Let's play the numbers game here. CeeDee Lamb, of course, is not going anywhere. Jalen Tolbert is not going anywhere. He's going to be, I think, your receiver 3 early on. James Washington was your off-season pickup. Now, Michael Gallup is probably not going to be out there in year 1 necessarily. But James Washington's contract was pretty much fully guaranteed. So those 4 are locks. And the issue for Fehoko is this. He does not help on special for week 1. Sorry, week 1 for Gallup. Excuse me, I misspoke there. You might not have Gallup for week 1, right? That frees up a spot. Noah Brown has special teams value. So Fehoko could make this roster, but with Washington, Tolbert, Gallup, Lamb, all roster locks, and Brown helping on special teams unlike Fehoko, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 spots for TJ Vasher, Brandon Smith, plus those new UDFAs. So you can group Fehoko and Vasher in here. I think one of those guys does not make your active roster, potentially both of them, since the Cowboys still got to find a punt returner. Maybe Fehoko can fill that role. Otherwise, he's not a roster lock, despite me liking him quite a bit coming out of Stanford. So our post-draft winners and losers. And by the way, I think you could throw Nashawn Wright in the loser side because I think that's the guy. That's the job Deron Bland might be coming for in year 1. The winners: Tyler Biadasz, Kelvin Joseph, Donovan Wilson, Jabril Cox, and Rico Dowdle. The losers: Terrell Basham, Connor McGovern, Sean McEwen, Luke Gifford, and Simi Fehoko. When Cowboys players get cut, they eventually end up becoming Cowboys legends. So, who is a Cowboys legend for you? Now remember, we're talking about the players who weren't actually that good. Like, for example, Tony Romo is actually good at football, so he's not a Cowboys legend. Quincy Carter is not good, so he's a Cowboys legend there in the end. So Dusty Rhodes has it right. Sewo Olonilua. He is the latest and greatest, as much as it pains me to say, Cowboys legend. Rico Gathers, etc. Quincy Carter. Ryan Switzer. That's a good one there. I thought Switzer was going to be really good. Rico, iconic rapper. That's what he cared about more. Daryl Worley. Antonio Bryant. There we go. I like that one. Morris Claiborne. Also fair. Taco Charlton. Ooh, Sam Hurd. Cowboys and drug kingpin legend. Let's see. Taco's in there. Greg Zuerlein. He is now a Cowboys legend. There you go. Clinton Dix. I think he's a Hall of Fame Cowboys legend. That one, people were surprised he got cut there. Ben DiNucci, Alan Hearns, Roy Williams, the receiver. DiNucci's on the roster. That doesn't count yet. Once he's done, oh yeah, big time on that front there. Chad Henson, DJ47 says David Irving. He is not welcome in the Cowboys legend category because he didn't give a shit about football. So no to David Irving. Yeah, so you have to at least care a little bit.
So if you don't love football, that means you're a bad person, Tom?
It means you're not. It means
Tom.
You're not a legend.
Wow, Tom.
Also, kind of is a bad person. Brandon Carr in there, Garrett Gilbert, Terrence Williams, Ryan Leaf, Patrick Creighton, Jason Garrett. That's a good one. Randall Cobb. Perfect. Orlando Scandrick. Oh, producer
Tom.
Brett found the Send Energy meme. There we go. Terrell Owens. What's up, Jeremy?
Will Kellen Moore become a Cowboys legend?
Kellen Moore is a Cowboys legend as a player, so he counts. Same with Jason Garrett. They all count. They were players first.
Oh, it's only players.
It's players.
Wade Phillips, not a Cowboys legend.
Okay, that's a coach. That's a whole different category. All right. That's your Cowboys leaders, legends, or whatever. Like leaders and legends, just like the Big Ten. We nailed it. Devontae Bond's on the rosters. That does not count yet there. Oh, I saw. It was funny. Tavon Austin, David LaFleur. There you go. Those are good ones there. We'll move to our mailbag now. Maybe revisit that one later on because I always love to do that question. It's fun. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat like Duncan39 did here. To get on the show for our mailbag, those are your two paths, hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. By the way, we will be live after the mailbag on Rumble only. So that was very loud, Jeremy. Thank you. So Rex1417, Bobby Hass in there. I see your questions in your comments. Thanks, guys. We'll be joining Rumble exclusively here in just a little bit. Keep the comments fun and flowing over there for me. If you have questions, though, make sure to use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat on this mailbag. You guys are watching the Dallas Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble with our mailbag, answering all of your questions live here on the Cowboys Report. Duncan39, a $5 Super Chat. I said Gabe Bursick for the past month and a half. Now he's on the Vikings. Gosh darn it, is Jerry okay? Please send the energy, Tom for GM. Send the energy for me in the comment section. We still have the Tom for Cowboys owner, not GoFundMe. What's it called? To sign the change.org petition. We have that somewhere. I'll throw that in the comment section on this video. Honestly, I'm fine with the UDFA the Cowboys picked up. Jonathan Garibay, I think he'll be just fine. At least I hope, but he's a UDFA. So if not, oh no, you can go find somebody else. From Ben Lovin, where do you rank the Cowboys' offense post-draft? I mean, did they get better? Quarterback's the same. Running back's the same. Tight end's the same-ish. Receivers worse. Is the offensive line better? I'm not convinced that it is. It could be if Tyler Smith instantly balls out and Tyron Smith stays healthy and Biatch takes a step forward, but Collins is gone too. So I'm not convinced it's any better, and hopefully your players play better and you live up to your top 5 talent, top 10 talent that you have in the end. From Nate Rosario, I'm going to yell, Jeremy. Trade for OBJ Debo. Okay, well, one of those guys is a free agent and Odell Beckham. So, yes, you can sign him at any stage that you want to. As for Debo Samuel, do you think the Cowboys are going to decide, hey, we're going to throw money at Deebo Samuel, throw a first-round pick and more, and pay him $25+ million a season? No, I don't think that's a very realistic outcome. Needy Nick, we got 2 OBJ questions in a row. Yeah, you can't say OBJ anymore. It's banned in the live chat. Can't say OBJ. So I will make sure I don't say it here as we talk about the former Rams receiver. Had he been healthy, this would have been a very different conversation for Odell Beckham, but he tore that ACL in the Super Bowl. I am worried about my receiving core early on in the season. Adding Odell Beckham doesn't really help me because I don't think he's going to be ready until after Gallup comes back, or at least close to it. So now I'm adding 2 receivers to my offense. Cool, I can make Tolbert my 4, but like that, whatever. Like it just, the timing doesn't work out for me as it relates to Odell Beckham. So I want you guys to name a player who you, so I remember, you can't say that one particular 3-letter word or abbreviation that we expect there. So name a player who you guys want to sign. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Nick Dotson with 2 C's. Pass to run ratio at 60 snaps. You're going to be around 60% pass, 40% run. That's how most teams operate. Even the low-end teams are still going to be above 50%. I think Philadelphia last year was like 50.13 or something versus like 49.98. So you're going to be about 60%. Ideally a little bit lower because you can run the ball a lot in the fourth quarter to ice games. From Chris Hughes, is Tolbert comparable to Dez Bryant? No. Not really at all. I'd say Tolbert is much more of from like a play style comparison. I think he's a lot closer to Michael Gallup than Dez Bryant is. Like, again, I like Jalen Tolbert, but you're talking about a player who, I'll make sure I have the exact size here. Dez was what, 6'3", 225, contested catch machine, etc. Tolbert is 6'1", 194. So we're talking a 30-pound difference and about 2 inches. Not really that similar of player. We are also, folks, on Rumble as we continue to grow the platforms that you guys use. We have free and uncensored content on Rumble. That's their whole shtick there. You get sports from us here, plus news, politics, tech, business from other accounts over there. So give us a follow for free. Rumble.com/CowboysTV. From JG. Will the Cowboys' offense be more creative and trickery used? I feel it sparks offenses for the most part. Here's your dark secret you don't want to admit to. I think certain members of your front office, like Stephen Jones, don't like those trick plays very much. And they want to win football the old-fashioned way. And we've seen some creative packages from Kellen Moore, and then it disappears midseason every year. Is it because Kellen doesn't want to run it anymore? He only thinks it can be run once? I don't know, but I would like to see more. The fact that the pre-snap motion just stopped being used was a failure by the organization last year. At minimum, please bring that back. Super Chat just came in, by the way, from Elijah Williams. Notable free agents we might bring back next year. So I assume you mean like the 2023 free agents there. So let me pull up the list here for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see. I've got, pull it up here. I'll make sure I'm not missing anybody out because I don't have it top of my head. We just got to the original free agency here. Free agents next year. I mean, obviously Tony Pollard is maybe one of your biggest ones on that list. You'd like to bring him back. Dalton Schultz, Anthony Brown. Always bring back LVE. Everyone's favorite early draft pick, Tristan Hill, will be a free agent. Donovan Wilson, under the radar, is going to be a free agent as well. Plus some defensive players like Terrell Basham, Dante Fowler, who may or may not make the roster. So your big ones there. Schultz, who I don't think you're going to get an extension done with, by the way. Anthony Brown, Donovan Wilson, and Tony Pollard. DAV Boss, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hill. Who should be cut for roster cuts before the season? Tristan Hill, Van Der Esch. Honestly, not LVE. He's super cheap. And like 1 year, I think it's like $2 million. And he's your second or third best linebacker. So I'm going to keep him for now. Tristan Hill If he does not beat out Carlos Watkins and you want the run stopping of both Quinton Bohanna and John Ridgeway, I think Hill could be a good standpoint on that one there. I'd say make sure you guys are subscribed here. Like, we will have a full cut candidates list as we move on further into the season. From Ben Loving, Eagles suck, Jeremy, LOL, and Bobby to Raw. How do you feel about the Eagles and their picks? I'm low-key nerves. I don't think the Eagles did a great job in the draft. Imagine if they had a top 10 QB. I think they'd be the favorite to win the division. Your reason why you're not panicked full-fledged yet, despite having Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, etc., and a really good offensive line and a good defense, is CB2 for Philadelphia. It's not great. And do we believe in Jalen Hurts? Do the Eagles believe in Hurts? Maybe. Maybe not. Their actions say we'll see how he goes this year. Do you want free Cowboys videos every single day? If you do, which I would hope you guys do, then subscribe. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. From Leroy Pearson Jr. Of all the UDFAs, who do you see as having a legitimate chance of making the team? I think the one that steps out is the kicker, obviously. Jonathan Garibay, I think he's got a good chance to make it. I think Marquise Bell has a good shot. So does Wanye Thomas, both safeties from Florida A&M and Georgia Tech. Aaron Hansford, I think, has a great shot to make it, even over Devin Harper as a linebacker for you. I doubt the edges make it in year one. The tight ends, maybe not so much. I wouldn't mind one of the receivers splashing. I promise you, we will fall in love with one of those receivers. Do it every single year. The UDFA receiver that we like there. I think Alec Lindstrom of the UDFA linemen has the best path there. Question coming in here from Rumble, from Rex1417. Why am I the only one who thinks that James Washington was a good signing? He was good with the Steelers. I like the signing, but not because he was good with the Steelers. He had a good year. 2019, 735 yards, 3 scores. Since then, he has not been a very impactful player. He was available for the vet min because he hadn't been great, but as a former second-round pick with flashes, I agree. I really like the signing because it's low risk, potentially high reward. I'm not convinced in the end he's going to be a huge impact player for you, but you're not paying him to be. So I think at minimum, you feel great about him as depth. If he does make a big impact, awesome. That was a steal in free agency. JT Christopher, would you bring back Dez to be the PR? Are you replacing Rich Dalrymple there? Or do you probably mean punt returner? I think is what you're going for. No, I'm not. Look, guys, I'll forever love Dez. Put him in the Ring of Honor. Cowboys made a mistake by him the first time. Dez has played. He's too good to be a Cowboys legend, Jeremy. He's too good. He played 6 games in 4 years, and he hasn't been a punt returner since 2012. So I love Dez. I wonder what year it is when these questions get asked. My answer is no. He should not be your punt returner because he doesn't have the juice to do it anymore. That's just not his thing. So I love him, but no. Now, Dez Bryant is too good to be a Cowboys legend. He's too good. Now, Bryce Butler is a Cowboys legend, i.e. they played for the Cowboys. They weren't that good, meaning they become a Cowboys legend once and forever. So, let me know in the comments who you think a Cowboys legend is. Martin Marin, Dallas must sign J.C. Treader now. Will assure better running and pass protection. I think you mean Dak, not Dan, injured again. I get where you're coming from. Here's my mindset as it relates to J.C. Treader. I know there's the report from Brian Broaddus that he was banged up a lot last year, was missing practices. He played in almost every game until when he had COVID and was awesome in those games. And now if he's asking for a lot of money, okay, we are now in May. I know he's the NFLPA president, so he might be asking for a lot of guarantees. I get all that. 1 year, 3 year, $3 million fully guaranteed. Like, who says no? Like, I think that's fair for Treader at this point, and it's great for the Cowboys because I do want him as my center. I think he's a better player than Tyler Biadasz is right now. Texan third or Thexan third. Will Lindstrom or Empey beat out Biotish? Probably not. Seems to me that the fan base has quickly gotten on board with Alec Lindstrom's going to win the job. And I think it's because people have heard of him. He was higher on some of those NFL draft simulators. I had a 7th round grade on Lindstrom. If we didn't understandably like the lack of power from Connor Williams, that is a problem with Lindstrom, who doesn't offer you guard flex either. Great UDFA pickup. I would love if he at least pushes Biotish, but I would not anticipate my UDFA center beating out Biotish right now. Ben Loving, Jeremy, does Dallas sweep the Eagles again? All right, we'll let Jeremy answer here.
I actually think the Eagles.
Yes, wow, thank you, Jeff. Just kidding, you can answer now.
I think the Eagles are going to sweep the Cowboys.
Oh, I shouldn't let you talk at all. Everyone boo Jeremy in the comments section. You can also answer our next question. Will the Cowboys win the NFC East? Y for yes or N for no? Get your votes in for me in the comments section right now. From Henry Nuts, how do we keep Lamb in the slot, or is Tolbert a big slot next year? Tolbert did play some slot. About 30% of his reps were there for South Alabama this past year. It was a big jump up. I would probably keep Lamb in the slot. That's not a bad thing for me, by the way. The Cowboys like to attack the middle of the field with their offensive schemes, and I think Lamb's good there. So you can rotate some guys a bit more than maybe you have in the past, but I think I'd keep Lamb in the slot of your current top 3 receivers or top 4 receivers. Nightmare DC for life. Who's going to break out from the 2021 draft class? Not Nate Parsons. Yeah, he's already broken out there. Ideally, I think what you're hoping for is probably one of your defensive guys, which is like 3 of them. I would love it if Osa Odigizua broke out, because that would give me an impact defensive lineman to actually have on my roster from an interior standpoint. So I would really like to add that type of player. Beyond him, I'd be down with Chauncey Golston. I'd be down with Kelvin Joseph also hypothetically breaking out. From Mr. Malfic, trade for Isabella to be the kick returner or punt returner. Here's the problem you run into. He did 1 punt return for Arizona and did 8 kick returns in 3 years. So they did not put him out there. He did a little bit of kick return stuff for UMass, some brief punt return as well. He's not good is your problem. So there is some background, unlike most of your guys on your roster right now. I think he's going to get cut by Arizona, so just wait it out a little bit there. I would like to find a potentially better one via the trade market or free agency market if possible. Remember, folks, if we did not get to your question, blame producer Chugs, and then DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. I'll answer any DM I get to. Just, give me some time. I tend to answer those late at night when I'm feeding baby Olivia. The pinned poll of the day, it's changed, Jeremy. 37% are giving it a C, 11% going A, 36% say B, and 16% say D or
Cowboys Nation agrees with me. It was not a good draft. Over 50% give it a C or less.
Off season, not just draft.
Oh yeah, even better.
Is it though? Even better.
I mean, see, Eagles and Cowboys can agree on one thing: the Cowboys had a shitty off season.
It's not shitty. That's a crappy for C. Come on, it was right there in front of you and you missed it. Get the votes in A, B, C, D, or F as we're going to transition now to Rumble only here on the Cowboys Report. We're going to go Rumble only. We'll end things on Facebook, end things on YouTube. Get over to Rumble right now. Producer Brett doing a great job. Executive producer. Ooh, intern Brett? I'm just playing. Executive producer Brett.
I didn't say it. I didn't say that.
Now I'm gonna get
Brett's
fired.
my boss. I wouldn't say that.
Now I'm going to get fired. There you go. We're only going to stay live on Rumble. The link is in the live chat. I see it on YouTube. Thank you, super duper executive producer Brett. Get over there to Rumble, rumble.com/Cowboys TV. We'll count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. YouTube, we'll see you later.